Hi, welcome to Back to School Night. I'm Mrs. Rodriguez, and I'm excited to teach AP Calculus AB again this year. It's one of my favorite courses because of both the rigor, but also the age group that I get to work with. Working with our juniors and seniors in the school building is a lot of fun. It's really rewarding to see the hard work and discipline really pay off for them. It's a time in their lives where they're focusing on their interests and they're finally discovering what exactly it is that makes them happy, and hopefully they're able to make those decisions and find those happy times moving into the next stage of their lives. And I enjoy thoroughly being a part of that. So building community in my classroom is one of my top priorities, along with, of course, delivering the calculus content. So what I'm going to do for tonight is walk you through my Canvas page. I'm going to share my screen right now, which is something that I do with my students pretty often. And it allows me to show them exactly what's going on my screen. Okay, so let me bring you to my dashboard, which would be similar to your child's dashboard, and it has all of their courses on it. And my understanding is that you too will eventually have this on your dashboard. So AP Calculus AB. I chose to have my homepage just my module page. I think it's the most straightforward and allows them to stay organized and see exactly what it is that they need to be working on. So up top will always be my Zoom link. I use my personal meeting. That way, anytime that they need to get to me for class or office hours, it's the same link. There's no confusion there. Online textbook, so it's just a PDF version of our book posted here, along with suggested homework. This is not homework that is checked or graded, but it is certainly something that I'd be willing to go over with in class. It's extra additional, just in case they need more support or more practice on a current topic. Okay. Then I have my virtual office hours sign up. So I have a page here telling them exactly what my office hours are, as well as a link that takes them to a survey where they can fill out and choose what office hour they would like to meet with me, as well as why they want to meet. Module 1 has a lot of other important stuff in terms of syllabus, the grading for the department. Our community building activities will come back here frequently. I have a welcome page that I'm choosing not to use. Again, I like the modules as my home page. That way everything is right in front of them. They filled out a student information survey for me. They already completed an introduce yourself discussion with a video post. And they've also already completed their pre-calc review, so the answer key is posted. So this first module is really just beginning of year stuff. So let me go through the syllabus with all of you. Canvas is nice because it gives you a preview. You don't have to download every single thing that you want to look at, but you have the option to do the download as well. Okay, so in my syllabus, my name, my email, the website for Canvas, office hours are up top here. I've indicated the first 2 sets of office hours I'm not available for during the fall sports season. I'm the girls soccer coach, but I created additional office hour times during the fall sports season. And then there's, of course, all of these other options as well. If for some reason one of these does not meet the needs of your child, have them reach out and I can schedule something else. That's not a problem. Textbooks, we do have hard copy textbooks, of course, and they can pick those up this week. And if that doesn't work for them, just have them reach out to me and I will coordinate another time for them to pick up their textbook. When they come to a Zoom class, just like a regular class, they should be prepared, ready to participate, take notes, follow along. So a pencil, some kind of note-taking system, and a graphing calculator. There will be times in class where calculators are not allowed, but then there's going to be times when calculators are needed and they have to get more and more familiar, especially prior to their AP test. So there's 4 steps to this virtual learning process that our district has kind of onboarded, and I fully support them, and I plan to use this process even when we return to either a hybrid or full in person. It's essentially a flipped classroom approach for me, and it's something that I've always wanted to give a try to, but I always worried that maybe not everybody would be able to access a video at home. So now that we do have the infrastructure and the platform to support this type of education, I'm going to continue with it throughout this year. So the 4 steps include watch, read, do, confer, and assess. So in that watch, read, this is typically going to be their homework. This is where they're learning the lessons. I've already pre-recorded video lessons for each section that they can watch. They are about 15 to 20 minutes and they're YouTube videos. And then they can take notes. I'm attaching outline notes for them to work with, but they don't have to use those. The do happens in class. This is where we take a look at all of the homework problems or practice problems, something that's more challenging that allows them to ask me questions or ask their friends questions and work through them. To confer, okay, this is either discussion based in class or out of class. Sometimes they'll post videos of themselves walking through problems that I can assess. Sometimes it's going to be a small group conversation or a one-on-one conversation. And then the assess. This can range anywhere from a mini quiz, an exit slip, all the way up to an end of chapter test or a long-term project. Rules in classroom conduct. So respect is the number one thing in my classroom, making sure that we're respecting each other and respecting myself. And this really has never become an issue for me. And I think that treating each other as young adults, as adults, is something that allows them to realize that we are a true community and we're a team in this school year. So I'm looking forward to working with them. Being on time is important. I mean, obviously things come up, but we want to make sure that we're clicking on our Zooms at the scheduled time when we're supposed to be meeting, because we will be often in small breakout rooms. So I wouldn't want them to miss out on any of that time. Being prepared, making sure that the lessons are watched is the most important part. And then effort. A lot of my class is geared around effort. Obviously, effort will help in the comprehension. And if you're showing me that you really are trying and you're looking for those office hours and you're doing everything right, that's something that I can absolutely work with and help out. Absenteeism, it's going to happen. Just because we're home doesn't mean that students are not going to be missing class as well as myself. So doctor's appointments, if we're sick, let's just try to be proactive if possible. And then also make sure that you're always following the school attendance and reaching out to the attendance office with any kind of doctor's notes. Academic integrity, this is a tougher one while we're on home instruction. Of course, it's not something that I can monitor as closely, but it's still the same exact message that I'd always give. And when it comes to academic integrity, it really just comes down to the person who you aspire to be, right? What are those character traits that really, really mean a lot to you? And I'm sure that none of us are going to sit here and say that, you know, I want my family members to think of me as a cheater or my family members to think that I'm dishonest. So this, to me, shouldn't even be a question. I'm somebody that really, really takes into account our busy schedules, or something might be more difficult for someone than others. So just communication is number one in my classroom, and I'm always willing to help somebody out. So just make sure that we're honest, we're taking ownership of our own work, and this really isn't going to be an issue. So if you ever want to navigate back to the modules, you just have to click on the top left where it says AP Calculus AB. I'm going to take a moment to go through the math department grading policy. This is new for this year, and it follows along with our watch, do, assess, and confer. And they're broken up into category weights. So 10% of the grade is in that watch, so watching the videos, taking notes, and submitting. 20% is in the do. So this is that classwork, small projects, maybe some discussions might go in this category. Assess is broken up into two categories. One would be the smaller quizzes, exit slips, quick comprehension checks. And then the 30% would be long-term projects or chapter tests or things such as that. And finally, confer is 15%. So this could be one-on-one, small group discussions, or even our discussion boards that I have them post to. Okay, and the last thing I want to walk you through is just a typical module for chapter 2. I have it all laid out here, and I've made some of it published, but not all of it quite yet. So right now we're working on 2.1. Learning objectives would always be posted for the beginning of a chapter. Outline notes are here to download or to preview there if the student chooses to use it. Video lesson will always be here in a YouTube format. A place to post the notes. A problem set, and this is something that we would be working on together in class or in small groups, and then they would post it after they have completed it. And then that goes into section 2. So there's a couple of other components that will be in each module, not necessarily for every single section. We would have discussions, and we will have quizzes that come live when needed. Quizzes and tests will happen during scheduled Zoom classes. Okay. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm happy to meet live with you on Zoom or have a phone call or something along those lines. So hope you have a wonderful night, and I'm looking forward to teaching your child this year. Take care.